Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone cold, narrative driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and you know that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person.
He's the mannequin in the window of a political department store, posed perfectly, dressed to impress, and completely hollow inside. And when that cardboard cutout gets matched up against Joe Rogan, a man with zero filter and a global microphone, the result isn't just political commentary, it's demolition. Rogan didn't interview Newsom so much as he dismantled him piece by piece, turning California's governor into a living TED Talk on incompetence, hypocrisy, and ego. The moment Newsom starts boasting about California, you can practically hear Rogan sigh through the screen. "I'm bullish on California," Newsom likes to say, as though it's a stock he owns. But the people of California aren't buying shares. They're selling them, cashing out, and fleeing by the thousands. Rogan points out the obvious. They're all moving. The only reason more people don't leave is because it's so damn hard and expensive to uproot. In other words, California has become the kind of place people only stay in when they're trapped.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive.
Newsom's career feels like a smoothie made entirely of kale, arrogance, and empty slogans. He wakes up every morning, looks in the mirror, and probably applauds himself just for existing. Meanwhile, his state, one of the most naturally beautiful, resource-rich places on Earth, is buckling under mismanagement. Sky-high taxes, failing infrastructure, homelessness exploding on city sidewalks, fires, floods, blackouts. It's the tragedy of wasted potential. Enter Rogan, the podcaster philosopher, the comedian hunter fact-checker rolled into one. When Rogan decides you're a fraud, there's no escape. His style isn't shouting or grandstanding. It's surgical. He laughs, he shakes his head, he points out the absurdity, and suddenly your entire carefully curated persona is in shreds. Rogan calls California what it is. Poorly run, frustrating, chaotic. He's lived there. He's seen it firsthand. He remembers the lockdowns, the fires, the suffocating regulations, the neighborhoods falling apart while politicians pat themselves on the back. And then he watches Newsom grin on national television, talking about how California is the best state in the country, as though sheer optimism will patch the potholes or house the homeless. Rogan's response is blunt. "You're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state. That's the heart of it."
The whole state is just so poorly managed. It's so frustrating and confusing. And then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great. Mm-hmm. And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state. Like, personally ruined it.
Newsom's ego is built on the idea that image is everything. Slick hair, rolled up sleeves, practice voice. He moves through politics like he's hosting a talk show rather than governing 40 million people. He loves photo ops, summits, conferences about sustainability, anything that looks good on camera. But when Californians step outside, they don't see sustainability. They see encampments stretching across sidewalks, wildfires burning entire neighborhoods into ash, insurance companies pulling out because the risk is too high. And then there was that moment when Newsom discussed what to do with the land after firestorms destroyed homes.
See the governor talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down. And he did this little dance, like
some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward. And
with a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. Like, it's all insanely.
Newsom likes to parade his economic record as though California is thriving. In reality, his policies resemble a trendy juice cleanse. Marketed as healthy, but in practice leaving everyone broke, exhausted, and miserable. Tax everything, regulate everything, drive businesses out, then scratch your head when the wealthy leave and the middle class collapses. Rogan didn't even have to dig deep to call it out. He just compared what he experienced in Texas where he moved to the decline he saw in California. That comparison alone was enough to obliterate Newsom's narrative. And then came the pandemic hypocrisy. Newsom locked down California harder than any other governor. Businesses shuttered, schools closed, entire cities went silent. And while ordinary families struggled to survive, Newsom waltzed into the French Laundry restaurant without a mask, dining with lobbyists like the rules had never applied to him. When Xi Jinping came to San Francisco, Newsom's approach to homelessness was just as cynical. He cleared the streets, cleaned the sidewalks, and presented a sanitized version of the city for the cameras. And then he tried to justify it with the line, "When friends come over, you clean your house." Rogan's response was immediate. "How about just keep your damn house clean all the time?" It was the perfect summation of Newsom's governance, cosmetic, temporary, image first.
When I went there, I had a great relationship with President Xi. We got along very well. And they treated me better than anybody's ever been treated. And I said, this air is good. Do you know they closed every factory 1 week before I got there from within 200 miles?
That's like what Gavin Newsom did when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco.
He cleaned it up.
He cleaned it up. He got rid of all
Isn't
the
that
homeless
terrible
people.
in a way to think, you know? He cleaned it up and then it became a pigsty.
Well, the dumbest thing is he said when your friends come by, when you have visitors, you clean up your house. Like, how about just keep your fucking house clean?
Can you imagine?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say ever as a governor as to excuse to why you finally cleaned up your homeless problem.
Even Newsom's attempts to control speech have backfired. Rogan highlighted how Newsom reacted angrily to parody posts, hinting at laws to curb them. Elon Musk mocked him, joking about Professor Sugandi's nuts, confirming parody was legal. It was juvenile humor, sure, but it captured the absurdity of a governor trying to legislate away criticism. At the core, Rogan exposed Newsom's greatest weakness. The man is more brand than leader. His entire persona is curated, polished, smoothed over.
What Gavin Newsom said to him?
No.
Pull that post up, Jamie. Gavin Newsom said that you shouldn't be posting this. That we're going to make it illegal, and I'm going to sign a law. And he said, "Professor suck."
Didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Elon
he did.
said that to Gavin Newsom?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I checked with renowned world authority Professor Sugandi's nuts, and he said parody is legal in America.
His hair is perfect, his smile rehearsed, his voice dripping with manufactured gravitas. He looks like he was designed to play president in a Netflix drama, not to actually be one. And yet he has ambitions far beyond Sacramento. He sees himself as a future president, the heir apparent to the Democratic Party. Rogan, chewing elk jerky or sipping whiskey, practically laughed at the idea. If California is his resume, his presidential run will be the blooper reel. And he's not wrong. High-speed rail projects that go nowhere, rolling blackouts in the most technologically advanced state in the country, endless tax hikes, population decline. These aren't bullet points for a presidential campaign. They're red flags.
Bizarre. I did enjoy affecting the election.
Oh, dude, imagine. I can imagine.
I did enjoy it because I didn't want to. I did not want to get involved in any way, shape, or form. But it got so weird.
Yeah, you'd express that publicly in the past.
I was like, I don't want to have nothing, and I don't want to have anything to do with it in the future. I didn't want to. I just felt sucked into it. I'm like, like we can't do this again. We can't do it with these same people that us for 4 years, and then they're gonna we're gonna do it differently now. Like what's going on? Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California, but the governor gave this creepy fucking speech.
Transportation in California is almost comical. Billions poured into high-speed rail, and what do they have to show for it? A few stretches of track and farmland and a gaping hole in the budget. Rogan compared it to pitching underwater toasters. It's infrastructure theater, expensive, flashy, and utterly useless. The fires, the blackouts, the exodus, the crime, the schools, the hypocrisy, it all adds up. And Rogan doesn't even have to exaggerate. He just lays it out, laughs at the absurdity, and lets Newsom's record collapse under its own weight. Watching Rogan dismantle Newsom is like watching a tower of Jenga blocks tumble. You don't need to push hard. You just need to pull one piece and gravity does the rest. And yet, Newsom keeps smiling, keeps talking, keeps pretending. He insists California is a model for the nation. He insists he's the reasonable one. He insists failure is progress if you frame it with the right buzzwords. But no amount of framing can hide what's obvious to anyone paying attention. California, under Gavin Newsom, has become the cautionary tale, not the model. By the end, Rogan didn't just roast Newsom. He exposed him. He showed the gap between image and reality, between slick rhetoric and lived experience. Newsom wants to be the future of his party, but in Rogan's world, the world of blunt honesty, facts, and lived reality, he's already the past. Because when your state is leading the nation in homelessness, taxes, crime, and outbound moving trucks, you don't need a critic to take you down. Your own record is the punchline. All Rogan did was point, laugh, and ask the question everyone was already thinking. This is the guy you want to run the country? And that, more than anything, is why Gavin Newsom erupted. Because deep down he knows the truth.